Hey guys, so this video is for the people that want a basic understanding of what cryptocurrencies are, people that want to get into crypto trading as well as investing, or naghahanap ng legit, real-world experience when it comes to crypto trading for a noob like myself. So this is my story and how I made 210,000 pesos in 2 months and also lost a 1 million peso opportunity twice. Hi guys, my name is Mendy and welcome to Diskarte, Pilipinas. This is a show where I talk about content creation, entrepreneurship, and wealth building. In its simplest form, cryptocurrency is a form of digital money. It uses digital files as money. So imagine yourself typing away on a notepad on Windows, saving it as I love you virus.txt. Only with crypto, these files are made through cryptography, which is a way of hiding information, or the science of hiding information. Now, the people making these computations are Bitcoin miners. I'm pretty sure may narinig na kayo nagbe-Bitcoin mining. Pero hindi sila yung nag-invento nito completely, more on that later. So yung cryptocurrencies work through a distributed ledger, which is a public ledger that everyone can see. But even if it is public, since we are using cryptography, no one knows where these transactions are coming from or who made these transactions. And that distributed ledger is called a blockchain. And with these transactions, there are no middlemen, no banks, no central authority, no governments, completely decentralized. So Bitcoin naman is the most famous and largest and well-respected type of cryptocurrency out there today. It was created by some cyber genius called Satoshi Nakamoto. So no one knows if Satoshi Nakamoto is a pseudonym or a group of people. And there are several records of Satoshi Nakamoto posting on pages talking about cryptocurrencies and how it could change the entire world. And so whoever they are, they developed Bitcoin, they authored the white paper, created and deployed Bitcoin's first original reference implementation. Along with the implementation, they also devised the first blockchain database forever changing the world as we know it. It is the currency of the people, and Satoshi Nakamoto made sure that he communicated that very well throughout the chat rooms. Please research more on him, it's really fascinating. But again, no banks, no fees, no privacy issues, no governments printing out more money than we actually have. It is a completely decentralized platform of trust. So, nagets nyo ba? Okay? Kasi ako rin hindi ko masyado nagets sa umpisa. So, I really urge you to do your own research on this because it's really fascinating. And once you get a grasp of what it is, hopefully you hop onto the bus. So I only invested in Bitcoin about 7 months ago back in July 2020, but I'd already known about it since 2014 when I was still working in the tech industry. I distinctly remember me hearing about it through the tech guys, tech communities, and researching about it, and wow, did I not understand what it was. But I distinctly remember the price. It was $800 because I computed it against my monthly income at the time. And I distinctly also remember this moment when I opened up the website and saw it was $800, and then I looked at Gio, alam mo ba kung ano to? And he just looked at me and said no, and he was busy downloading episodes of Game of Thrones. Kaya naalala ko rin tong moment na to. And I also distinctly remember me thinking, $800? Grabe magkano yun in pesos, wala akong pera. And so I didn't know that you could even buy less than 1 unit. The next time I heard about Bitcoin was 2017. That $800 value per unit spiked up to $20,000 each. And at current writing, it is now valued at $41,000 per unit of Bitcoin. If you're wondering kung nag-invest ako ng 27,000 pesos, which was 1 month's worth of my sweldo back in the day, where 1 Bitcoin was valued at $800 only, that would now be worth $30,000, which is roughly 1.45 million pesos. That's after 6 years. So in 27,000 to 1.4 million. Lost opportunity number 1. So at the same time that Bitcoin hit $20,000 per unit, I was working for a different company and I had a boss there. His name is Anthony. And Anthony came up to me and said, mag-invest ka kaya sa Ethereum? So I researched what Ethereum was. I found out about altcoins, and then I read through the news and how many scammers there are. And I was really risk averse, but I was making good money and I had money, spare money. But at the time, Ethereum was $280 or $250, I think it was. And I still didn't invest because I was just scared. I didn't really research too deep. I looked at the bad news more than anything else. And so at the current writing, Ethereum is valued at $1,312 each. Lost opportunity number 2. Had I bought in, factoring the savings I had at the time, I would again have hit a million pesos plus. Anyways, this year, because of the pandemic, I realized something. Wait a minute, if markets are down and the economies are down, then where are all the dirty money being coursed through? Just kidding, I looked through the charts and realized, holy crap, the price of Bitcoin has completely tanked and dipped. And at this point in my life, I'd heard a lot of stories about people making so much money in turmoil. This is where a lot of people get from poor to rich and rich to richer. I really didn't know much, but at the back of my head, I did simple rationalizations. Number one, how many times have we heard people, specifically Warren Buffett, saying to buy the dips and invest whenever the markets are down because everything is cheap? Number two, cryptocurrencies. Digital, so everyone can see everything. The computations are also limited. More on that maybe on a different video. Versus paper that can be printed and printed and printed to pay off government debt. And so we never really know what the true value is. And number three, only invest money that you could lose. May the investment be made for a business or through stocks. Otherwise, your decision making gets very emotional, and most of the times you make irrational decisions. So at the time, above my emergency fund, I'd already saved enough money for a business, and I was really ready to invest. So I asked Anthony, my old boss, where to invest, and he mentioned Binance and CoinMarketCap. So he said, look at the top 20 coins on CoinMarketCap and only invest in those. So I picked out the one with the lowest movement, thinking it'll shoot up, and invested 8,600 pesos in a spread of 3 weeks. Hindi ko siya binili all at the same time because again, nakakatakot and I didn't know what I was doing. And so in the span of 3 weeks, I was trading in and out. I was pretending to know what I was doing just based off of YouTube videos. And miraculously, I managed to grow the portfolio from 8,600 to 12,500 pesos. Sabi ko, this is it, boys. And so all I was doing is I was looking at when the market would dip, and then I would buy, and then I would go up a little bit and I would sell. I traded within the 5 to 15 minute time frame, and at that point I was scalping and I didn't know it yet. And so I invested more and it grew more, and invested even more and it grew more, and I was by the 3rd week of August, I was up 20,000 pesos. That's just a month of essentially guessing. Completely gut feel, completely chambahan. It was at this point, first week of September, I found a coin nakakalist lang on the exchange. Literally, I was there 5 minutes into it being listed. And I saw the fluctuation. I saw it go from $2,000 to $3,000 to $4,000 to $5,000 per unit within literally like 15 minutes. This is it. I'm gonna get rich. I'm gonna go in and trade more than half of my portfolio. And this coin was a variety of what we call as decentralized finance, or DeFi. And the coin's name was YFII, or Wi-Fi. So I took a position bigger than I usually did, and I gained 50% of my money within 5 minutes. I was frantic. I called my friends. I was like, guys, I'm gonna get rich. Eto na talaga! And then after another 5 minutes, boom! 5,000 pesos down the drain. And then another 5 minutes, boom! Another 5,000 pesos down the drain. I'd lost 20,000 pesos literally in 15 minutes. It was my first real loss. Pero hindi muna ako umexit. To cut the long story short, tinry kong abangan kung aangat pa nga ba. And umangat nga naman. But then I still lost 12,000 pesos. It was the biggest loss I'd incurred since the beginning when I started trading. Everything changed for me. I became really emotional in all of my positions. I lost more money, and then I lost more money, and I didn't win for about 6 straight times. And so I decided to really get down and dirty with trading. I started taking down notes, watching everything and consuming everything that I could about trading specifically and not cryptocurrencies. I learned simple fundamentals, support and resistance, candlestick formations. I also found out that there are several ways to trade, like swing trading, scalp trading, and holding. Anyways, after testing again and again and again with small amounts, talo pa rin ako. And so I lost some more, 40,000 pesos more. And so I quickly realized that I was still emotional in trading. Because the reality is, the more that you're scared that you lose that money, the more you make really irrational decisions. Your entire trading system is emotionally driven. So doon ako nag-decide to again double down to learn trading. It was at this point that I bought lessons as well as bought into mentoring, which actually didn't cost much. More into mentoring later, I'll probably do a video on that. But shout out sa main mentor ko, si Panda Trader, and also the Panda Trading community. More power to you guys. And so I completely transformed how I spent my days. I would wake up, listen to crypto news, study the market, have lunch, trade or try to trade, write down all the details about my trading, how much I traded, why I got out, even going as far as recording my emotions at the time. Once I was out of the trade, I would then review the trade and review my notes, and even paper trade to be able to tweak what I needed to tweak in my game plans. After that, I would even watch more crypto news and watch more trading lessons. I lived and breathed crypto. Walang pahinga, 7 days a week. This is literally everything I did. 4 months after getting started, I was finally a little bit comfortable with my trades and a little bit better in my win-loss ratio, which was at that point the only thing I was looking at. I wasn't looking at the money. I just wanted to make sure that I knew how to win. Simply put, it's the frequency of winning that would tell me that I knew what I was doing at that point. And then I decided to increase my investments through dollar cost averaging, which according to Investopedia is an investment strategy where an investor divides up the total amount to be invested across periodic purchases of a target asset in an effort to reduce the impact of volatility on the overall purchase. Basically, what that meant was I wanted to make sure that I invested my money at the right time. But really, reading the right time is really difficult. So all I did was I read into the dips, and every time it would dip, I would buy some more. Every time it would dip again, I would buy some more again until the entire amount that I wanted to invest was inside the market. And so I bought into Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, and XRP for a total of 280,000 pesos. And so by the end of that month, I'd made back the 40,000 that I lost plus 60,000 pesos on top. And by December, my win rate was 4 out of 10, meaning I won 4 times out of the 10 times I traded. Ideally, it would be 5.5 out of 10, but I only took 1% of risk to 2% reward. And most of my wins, I would win above 2.5%. And through that, I was able to make another 150,000 pesos for a 2 months total of 210,000 pesos. Kalma lang ako sabihin, pero sobrang saya ko talaga sa sitwasyon na to because this didn't come easy. Now that I know more about crypto, me going into that ICO trade was the dumbest thing ever. Going into ICOs is really a big hit and miss, and everyone knows that during an ICO, it is a bigger gamble than usual. Another thing that I realized is that some people keep on saying that Bitcoin is scary or Bitcoin is volatile, and so therefore it is an unsafe investment, putting beside the fact that huge big institutional players like Grayscale, MicroStrategies, DBS, and even some countries have already invested into crypto huge amounts. I think the biggest place where volatility comes from is the fact that cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin in on itself is a completely new way of doing things. Again, think of the 90s internet boom. No one knew what it was. No one believed that it can change the entire trajectory of history and the way humans do things. Everyone was skeptical. Again, everyone was just oblivious to the fact that this really was a game changer and it was here to stay. It was huge. People started investing, and then it had a very big crash. But hey, how many of the top 10 companies around the world are tech companies? On top of that, there are so many people trading cryptocurrencies at this point. It has officially become the best performing asset of 2020. And so out of this entire experience, here are my findings. Number 1, and this is really what I wanted to say in this video, is can you make 150,000 pesos just by using 1,000 pesos or 5,000 pesos? Very highly unlikely. Okay, it is possible, but you'd have to be really good. You'd have to be an outlier. The reason why I'm really passionate about this is because ang daming humihingi ng pera dyan to teach people how to trade and get their 10,000 pesos to 1,000,000 pesos. Please do not. Just don't. Either you're a genius or you just really got lucky. It is very hard to do that. You really need a lot of money to make money when it comes to trading. I would say a minimum of 500,000 pesos would be ideal if you really want this to change your life. Number 2, people only lose money in trading when they forget to manage their risk. And this is where a lot of the fear is coming from. People that have failed and lost everything because they failed to manage their risk. Now, every time I speak to anyone about trading or investing, they're always like, "Oh, di ba nakakatakot yan?" Do your research. Number 3, you can't be passively trading if you want this as a main source of income. Just like any business, you have to live and breathe your strategy for it to become successful. Nurture it and give it as much attention as you can. Number 4, you can't ever be impatient. Woo! That's me. Follow through the strategy. Hindi porket nag-dip na magbabago ka ng strategy. You have to trust yourself. You have to be able to really put trust in what you do and what strategies you've put out. Number 5, again, you can never ever trade money that you cannot lose. It will destroy you like it destroyed Anakin Skywalker. Number 6, discipline is everything. Doing this consistently despite losses. Sometimes you lose 4, 6 straight times. But if you manage your risk well, you have to be disciplined enough to keep ongoing. Number 7, identify what kind of trader you want to be. A lot of people now are asking me about cryptocurrencies, and a lot of them should just hold. But I think a lot of them are getting the wrong impression that they need to keep on trading. But then again, if you really want to swing trade or scalp trade even, by all means, go ahead, as long as you know what you're doing and you manage your risk. And last but not the least, again, trading is like a business. You win some months, you lose some months. What is key is that you remain consistent. Keep on refining your strategies and finding ways to make more money. So I'm hoping I gave you a rough idea of what it is to get into crypto investing. So should you get into crypto? Definitely yes, but do it with an open mind and a lot of research. Although you really have to do it quick, it is a really decent time to get into investing. Before I go, guys, I'd really like to ask you to please subscribe. I just found out that 70% of the people watching me do not subscribe. So please subscribe, it'll help me out a great deal, and smash the like button. So that's it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Mendy and this has been Diskarte Pilipinas.